Okay, everyone, so I'm on a journey to figure out these attachment styles. So make sure you have subscribed so that I can help you as I'm learning. So today we're going to talk about fearful avoidant attachment styles and blocking emotions. And this is going to be the avoidant side. So somebody who has an avoidant attachment style can also relate to this video, I think, because it's talking about blocking emotions, how they block out their emotions, they block out your emotions. So they learn to withdraw from your emotional displays of needing anything, or they just feel like I can't handle dealing with your emotions right now. They can also feel kind of blah, kind of blank sometimes, not feel their own emotions because they just don't want to deal with emotions point blank and period. So a lot of these people feel like in their deepest core that people are unreliable and that they will not meet their needs. And if you feel like somebody's not going to meet your needs, then what do? You're gonna do everything to put systems into place, things into place, help into place for yourself. Like, okay, I've got all these systems around me. I can take care of me. I have to be self-reliant. It's almost like they are the chair, they are the stool, they are the backbone. I have to be that for me, and I kind of have to be that for everybody else in a way too. So I have to be sturdy. I can't depend on anybody else to help me. And at a certain point, it can get to a point where they feel like they do need somebody, but they're not getting that need met because they've kind of taught everybody, you can rely on me, but I can't rely on you, or I don't need you for anything. Why? Because I don't want to burden you like I have felt burdened in my life. I don't have room to be everyone's savior, and yet they can find themselves being everyone's quote unquote savior in a lot of circumstances. Like, I'll come and help you move all your things. I'll be that person. Now, some people can be the total opposite where they're not going to help anyone at all with anything. And it makes them look very cold, very aloof, and very me. What are you going to do for me? And it could be because they had an overwhelmingly needy parent, a needy mom, a needy dad, somebody who was super needy in their life, who they were forced to meet that person's needs, and now they want none of it. It's like, I don't need me for anything. And that's where their emotions shut down and they can seem uncaring or unloving. But it's not that. They were overwhelmed at some point in their life, or they had a parent that they learned very early that my needs weren't met at a very core level. And so I cannot rely on anybody but me. And if I am having to use that much energy to take care of me, there is nothing left for you. I have turned that dial off. And I will share with you an example of a couple that I knew. This guy was married, and when his mother would come around, or he would go around his mother, he would give his mother lots of hugs. He would give her whatever she needed. She would kind of whine to him about this or that, or I need this. And so he would take money that they had and give it to her, or help her pay her bills. When she was married at a certain point, to his father, the father was very dominating, very aggressive, very assertive, very taking them in and out of a lot of different situations. And so then his poor, quote unquote, poor, pitiful, manipulative mother, he felt like he needed to save her, or look at her rocking in a chair pitifully because this man is mistreating me. And so he was overly there for her. And what would happen is, if he went to church with his wife, he would immediately leave after church and go spend time with his mother. So if I spend any time with you, I have to go make that up with my mother. And so his mother would run to him and he would hug her and, no, mother, you don't have to buy that yourself. If they would go shopping together, I'll get it, or I'll carry it for you, or no, you're not gonna, if the mom said, hey, I'm gonna purchase something for you guys. No, you can't purchase anything. But then if his wife needed a hug, guess what? No, I'm not hugging you. Very rejecting, very rejecting. He could often be observed staring coldly and meanly at his wife. Like if she said anything to him, he would roll his eyes and be very rude and look very stern. He didn't want to be around her. It was always a get away from me, don't touch me, I need my alone time all the time, you're too needy. And yet he wasn't giving anything to his wife. But then imagine how the wife feels when your mom pops in the room. That's not your wife. And you give her all this love and affection, and then you turn to your wife and you look at her very viciously and angrily and cruelly and meanly. So you kind of see the dynamics that happen here. That's the part of disorganized attachment style that is the avoidant piece. And so it's too much. They have a subconscious resentment that they haven't dealt with. And a lot of times people will take that out on their spouse, or now I have power and control as an adult, and so I'm going to have the life or be treated the way I really want to be treated, but I'm not consciously aware of this. I'm just acting it out on my spouse. But that doesn't make a good husband or a wife, right? So they're not getting a lot of serotonin. So they're going to look for that on an outside ways. So this person might be an overspender. They might work out way too much. They're trying to get their needs met outside of people, because with this guy's mom, I can't rely on my mom. She needs too much help on her own. She's falling apart. I can't rely on her for anything. So I can't rely on my dad either, because he's a tyrant. He's always angry, vicious, aggressive. So I gotta learn how to get my needs met outside of people, because I haven't quite learned to trust people. I haven't quite learned to bond with people. So, I get the names, fearful avoidants are going to kind of have a combination of both. They might have a parent who's too needy on one hand, but then they can't really rely on that parent because the patterns are too all over the place, right? And so this is part of the reason why they can withdraw. They're going to be careful. They're going to evaluate people. They're going to see, okay, I don't know if I can take a chance with this person because I might get hurt. They're not going to be able to care for me anyway. And so they don't know how to just say, hey, I need you. I need your help. That's that piece that is like, I do need something from you. I do need your help. I do need your love. I do need your support. So they're missing a crucial element. They shift into the, hey, you know what? I've done everything I can. Everything is falling apart. My defense mechanisms aren't working as well. They can get irritable when you're needing too much from them. And they could have grown up with a sibling who needed way too much, or a sibling or a parent who was in bad work situations but wouldn't get out of it, in abusive situations with a spouse and wouldn't get out of it. And so then they spend years telling them, I got this problem. They won't do this for me. They won't help me. And so they're trying to save this other family member constantly because, help me, I feel bad, I feel sad, I feel angry, I feel. So it's like they're getting all these emotions from somebody else that are overpowering, overwhelming, never stop. No matter what solutions they offer, the person takes them, but then still has the problems, won't get out of the situations. And so this person is actually overwhelmed by emotions on a certain level. Let's think about when they shift into their avoidant style. Okay, so fearful avoidant attachment style involves a fear of intimacy and a desire for closeness combined with a fear of rejection and a tendency to avoid emotional vulnerability. When individuals with fearful avoidant attachment style lean towards the avoidant side, they often block or suppress their emotions as a way to protect themselves from potential hurt or rejection. One way that they may block emotions is by creating emotional distance or detachment from others. They may avoid deep emotional connections and intimacy, as getting too close to someone can trigger their fear of rejection or abandonment. So, by keeping their emotions at a distance, they believe they can protect themselves from potential pain. Additionally, individuals with fearful avoidant attachment style may use defense mechanisms such as denial or suppression to block out their emotions. They may deny or downplay their feelings in order to maintain a sense of control and avoid the discomfort that comes with vulnerability. This can lead to a pattern of emotional avoidance and difficulty in expressing or understanding their own emotions. So, blocking or suppressing emotions is not a healthy long term coping mechanism. It can hinder personal growth, hinder the development of meaningful relationships, and contribute to emotional distress. Developing self awareness, seeking therapy or counseling, and learning healthy coping strategies can be beneficial for individuals with fearful avoidant attachment style to navigate their emotions in a more constructive way. So, there again, it's that, hey, I can't rely on anybody. And so it's hard sometimes for them to take a complete risk getting into relationships, especially if they've experienced failed relationships. It might push them even further into the, I don't know if I can take an emotional risk to get into a relationship. So, like, I knew somebody who had this personality style who would go into the, hey, I got to be in a relationship at all times, and just heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And so then they had people saying, hey, you need to take a break from relationships. And so to push all the way to the other side means that they shut down that anxious, I need to be with somebody, and now I'm cold, I'm aloof, I don't trust you. What is the risk involved? So now I'm not going to get into any relationships at all. I'm going to run from every single one of them because I have put up a block emotionally because I can't handle that feeling like I'm falling to pieces, I'm falling apart. I don't trust myself to handle that anxious side. So I just won't take a risk at all because I'm not quite sure how to open up to somebody and let them care for me. I don't trust that I can sit on that chair and it's not going to break. Some people don't learn from their experiences at all, but because this type is constantly looking for safety, they can learn too well. So, like if they have a friend that's like, we talk too much on the phone or we talk too long on the phone. So now I'm not going to take the risk at all to call you. I'll just let you call me. And now, even though I really need some support or just need to feel the warmth of a friendship, I'm going to not talk to you for very long. I'll try to end the conversation because I don't want you to feel like I'm needing you too much. And so they can be very sensitive to nuance, whereas other people will be like, I want to talk, so I don't care if you want to talk or not. I need to talk, so I'm going to get my needs met. It's like they're always hyper aware of little nuances like that. Speaking of the husband who had a purely avoidant attachment style, he would do other things like he didn't mind cooking every day, he didn't mind cleaning up the house, he didn't mind running errands, he didn't mind going to get the groceries, he didn't mind doing all these extra acts of services. And that was his way of making up for it. He was like, hey, I'm a great husband, but there was zero emotional connections, and that's not going to work in a romantic relationship. There has to be some emotional connection, some talking, some sitting together, some holding hands. But he felt like, I'm doing all these things that you don't have to do. And the wife was like, I will trade that. The house can be a mess. you don't have to cook anything, but I'm starving for some emotional connection. One with a fearful, avoidant, or disorganized attachment style can get in the habit of saving everyone. They can be way more comfortable with that. So individuals with a fearful, avoidant attachment style can sometimes exhibit emotional coldness when it comes to other people's emotions. This emotional coldness can manifest in different ways. Number one, emotional detachment. They may distance themselves emotionally from others, creating a barrier between themselves and the emotions of those around them. This can make it difficult for them to empathize or connect with others on an emotional level. And remember, this is just when they shift to the left into avoidant mode. Number two, difficulty in recognizing or understanding emotions. Fearful, avoidant individuals may struggle to recognize and understand their own emotions, which can make it challenging for them to engage with and respond to the emotions of others. This can result in a perceived emotional coldness. Three, defense mechanisms. As a way to protect themselves from potential emotional pain or rejection, individuals with fearful, avoidant attachment style may employ defense mechanisms such as emotional suppression or avoidance. This can lead to a sense of emotional distance and coldness in their interactions with others. So, coldness can be a coping mechanism rather than a deliberate choice. It's often rooted in fear and self protection. Understanding this can help foster empathy and compassion when interacting with individuals who exhibit emotional coldness due to their attachment style, encouraging open communication, providing a safe and non-judgmental space, and promoting self-awareness and vulnerability can help create a more supportive environment for these individuals. And like I said before, many of these people with this combination style are used to saving everyone and suppressing their own needs. So they may get very confused when they have an emotional need, which might be why they suppress it or put it away, because they know they're feeling this way, but they're going to have to grapple with their emotions on their own because they don't want to burden anyone or overwhelm them, because they often feel very overwhelmed by other people's emotions. And on one hand, they love helping people, rescuing people, saving people. They feel more comfortable with that. So it's a tricky place. They can shut down and shut off emotions and they can have compassion fatigue, basically. So maybe I'll do a video on that. But you guys, let me know what videos you need concerning any of the attachment styles, and I will try to help you. So be sure to subscribe, because the videos are probably going to be kind of random, but I'll keep going as long as you like the video and you let me know, hey, this is what we want to do or see, then I will try to do that for you. And so, you guys, I wrote some books to help you. One of them is Flip the Script on Love, where we flip the script on love and the challenges that it brings. And I try to help you with that. If you're dealing with difficult people, it might not be their attachment style. It could be that they're a narcissist. So you'll want to check out my book, The Workplace Narcissist. And then it helps people who have this attachment style to understand themselves and other people. It's like a security blanket, which is why I wrote From ENFJ with Love, which is about the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types, and it's a lot of fun to learn about, and it will help you so much. So I'll put the link in the description box. Be sure to subscribe, like the video if you want to see more, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, lovely people.